Hi guys, so today I'm going to be filming something pretty highly requested. I'm going to be sharing with you guys, just before I get into this is for men and women, so I will have timestamps of men and women. Today what I'm going to be filming is my recommendations, 5 fragrances for men, 5 fragrances for women that will get you noticed in the club. There's many fragrances out there that smell really good, but there's only kind of certain ones that will get you noticed. Whether that's a positive reaction or a negative reaction, that's up to the people around you. But these 5 fragrances for men and women will definitely get you noticed by everyone, in my personal experience, in the club. So these are my recommendations. I hope that you guys enjoy the video. I'm gonna start out with women because women first. I quickly want to say something. These are all fragrances, at least in my experience, that have a very big projection. They are very strong, intense fragrances that have a very large projection. What I mean by that is that they, everybody in the room can smell you. Maybe not everybody, but a large, they project into the room, if you know what I'm saying. They don't kind of sit close to the skin where somebody has to come up to you and then they can smell you. These are fragrances that do kind of leave a trail. They kind of get in the room before you do. They're very big and very big projecting fragrances. And this is just my experience. So I have my 5 recommendations here for men and women. So let's just jump straight into it. The first recommendation that I have for women, if you want to get noticed in the club, is Maison Francis Kurkdjian Baccarat Rouge 540. Now, I've seen this fragrance doing the rounds. I feel like it's getting very, very popular, which is kind of putting me off the fragrance. I see this fragrance in quite a lot of just everybody's videos, so it's kind of putting me off the fragrance. I have talked about this one quite a lot. It is a super unique fragrance. It's sort of got the similar thing to Molecule 01 from Eccentric Molecules, where you can douse yourself in this fragrance and you may not even smell yourself. You may not even smell it on your skin. You may be very confused, but the magic of this fragrance is the way that it travels in the room. I have never experienced somebody wearing this fragrance and everybody not being able to smell them. It just has this DNA to it where, like I said, you may not really be able to smell it on you, but everyone, when I say everyone, I mean absolutely everyone is going to smell you. So now that we've cleared that up, the way that it smells to me is kind of like spun sugar. It does have kind of this sweet, edible kind of thing going, but it's very light, very bouncy, very airy, and it's just gorgeous. So Maison Francis Kurkdjian Baccarat Rouge 540, if you want to get noticed, this is definitely one that I recommend to the girls. I know that this is a unisex scent and a lot of men like to wear it, but for me, I do think that it's a little bit more feminine, so just my recommendation. Okay. Alrighty, you guys knew this was coming. I don't need to talk about it too much, but this is Mugler's Alien. Definitely one that is going to get you noticed. Heads will turn, people will compliment. That is the experience that I've had, guys. Despite what people may think, I'm not over exaggerating when I say I've been complimented so many times on this fragrance. I'm not exaggerating. There are certain fragrances that I haven't really been complimented on. I haven't had as many compliments from Baccarat Rouge 540 as I hear other people get. I hear a lot of people get a huge amount of compliments with this fragrance. I actually don't. I get more compliments when I wear Alien. Whenever I wear Alien to the club, it's insane how many people will say, you smell incredible, you smell just out of this world, you smell so good, and it is Alien. It's hands down one of the best fragrances that you can wear in the club if you want to get noticed. It's this very unique indolic white floral with some amber. It's a super unique fragrance. It's one that kind of can't be explained. It's got a synthetic smell to it. I'm not gonna lie, it does smell quite synthetic, but it doesn't matter. What you're getting in this bottle is something so crazy unique that has never been done before and will never be duplicated. Nobody can do Alien like Alien. And that is the great thing about this fragrance, is that you don't smell like anybody else. You do not smell like anybody else when you're wearing this fragrance. You will stand out. It's a love or hate. Definitely try it first. This is one that some people despise and other people love, like myself. Alright, so the next fragrance that I have here is one from Micallef. Now this is a newer one to my collection. I talked about it in a favorites video because it is so gorgeous, you guys, and this one definitely has surprised me, and it is a head turner for sure. Like, this is definitely a head turner. I'm actually going to read out the notes for you guys on this fragrance. Toffee, rose, vanilla, amber, pink pepper, cinnamon, and musk. Now, I will say, out of this list, this is a fragrance that sits the closest to your skin. It definitely still has a projection. It definitely does, and it lasts a very, very long time on my skin personally. And to me, this scent will get you noticed. If you are a gourmand lover, like if you are a gourmand lover and you also like rose, like that's very important, you have to like rose, you will adore this fragrance. You will absolutely adore it. Now, I don't even think I said what it's called. This is from Martin Micallef, and this is Mon Parfum Cristal. If you want to smell a little bit more classy rather than something like Alien, which is just very sexy and very provocative, if you want to smell a little bit more classy but still delicious and yummy and beautiful, this is your go-to. So Martin Micallef Mon Parfum Cristal, definitely recommended. I know some people may think that that's like an insult to wear this in the club, but I personally think it smells so good because it's got that sweet, delicious, like come to me sort of vibes. And the final two for women are both from Lancome. Now, to me, Lancome do some of the most intense, strong, long-lasting fragrances, at least for women. I know that there's a few that don't last that long, like that Miracle and Hypnose. Like those two, for me, they don't last very long on my skin. But for the most part, Lancome fragrances last forever. You guys are obviously very familiar with these two bottles if you watch my channel, but there's no point me including new fragrances that I may not really know work that well in a club or get you noticed. I might as well talk about what has worked for me in the past and what works for me now. And these two are such killer fragrances. These are killer in the club. I wore this one from like maybe 16 to 18. It was crazy. Sometimes I even got up to like 8 compliments a night just on this fragrance. And there's no reason for me to exaggerate because there's just no reason. There's no reason for me to lie. Lancome clearly don't know who I am and are not paying me. But this fragrance just got me so many compliments. Like when I was younger, I don't really wear it too much anymore just because I'm kind of like I'm a bit burned out from it. But trust me guys, if you want to get noticed, this is one that will get you noticed. Now, some people don't like this fragrance. I feel like it could be kind of like a bit of a dividing fragrance because it's very, very strong and intense, and it does feature the note of patchouli, which to me, patchouli can kind of be a note that some people love and some people hate. It's like a fruity, syrupy, smoky patchouli scent. And don't think smoky like incense, it's just got this subtle kind of smoky vibe to it. Very sweet, very edible, very strong, very patchouli. It's just a very intense fragrance that will get you noticed hands down. And same with this beauty, this fragrance is absolutely incredible. I've talked about it so much by now that I'm sure that you guys don't even need to hear me explain it. It is insane how many of you have bought this, but this 100% get you noticed. It's sweet, woody, oud, rose, vanilla, praline. It's a beautiful woody campfire with marshmallows and chocolate and vanilla and syrupiness, and it's just beautiful. This one is a beast. Like this projects and projects and projects, and it also lasts literally like 24 hours. Like this, if you spray it on you in the day, it'll last all the way through to the night. So Lancome's Oud Bouquet 100% will get you noticed. It'll get you complimented. It'll get you reactions. This one is like a fragrance that makes me a little bit emotional because I love it that much. It's not many fragrances do that, but this one is one that I truly love with all my heart. So Oud Bouquet from Lancome, incredible fragrance that will get you noticed. Moving on to the men. The first fragrance that I have here is a pretty predictable one. This is Versace Eros. Now, I love this fragrance. I absolutely adore this fragrance, but for me, there's a certain time and a place to wear this fragrance, and it's in the club. Like for sure, Versace Eros to me, it just smells like a clubbing scent to me, like full on clubbing masterpiece. So you guys know my sister Shelby, and this is one of her favorite fragrances on a guy ever, and she thinks that it also smells like a real clubbing scent because it really does. To me, This fragrance is perfect, and I have personally complimented so many guys wearing Versace Eros in the club. Like, I remember this one instance that I gave a guy a hug that I knew. He was wearing this fragrance and I said, "You smell so freaking good. What is it?" And he told me it was Versace Eros, and I was wearing Carolina Herrera Good Girl, and he also complimented me. So we were kind of just like, perfect. It is perfect for the club because to me, you don't really want to go for something too sweet and too heavy and gourmand, because you may kind of annoy people that are in your like proximity. You may kind of bother people if you're wearing something too thick, sweet and heavy. But this has a sweetness to it, but yet it still has a freshness and a spiciness, which is why I love this fragrance so much. They have balanced it so perfectly where it's fresh, spicy, and sweet. So the next fragrance, you guys already know, I kind of don't have to go into this one too much. This is Le Male from Jean Paul Gaultier. This actually is a vintage formulation, and a lot of you guys always ask me if I still like the new formulation, and yes, I still love it. There is something about Le Male. I don't care what batch it is, what formulation it is still one of my favorite fragrances ever. Same with La Nuit de l'Homme. I wouldn't recommend that for the club though, because it's a little bit too sensual and intimate. Whereas this one, this fragrance right here will 100% get you noticed. I've talked about this one a lot by now, and to me, it is a barbershop scent with a sexy dose of sweetness. So it has those kind of typical masculine notes of freshness, lavender, vetiver, like all of the kind of typical masculine notes that are in fragrance, but it is the first of its kind by adding that sexy vanilla, tonka, amber kind of smell to it. To me, I get a lot of vanilla, a lot of amber, and that beautiful barbershop freshness to it. I actually smelled this like 2 days ago on a man that was walking in front of me, and he was walking quite a far bit in front of me, and I got this huge whiff and I was like, it literally took him from, I don't want to be mean, but it elevated his rating because he was wearing this fragrance and it smelled so incredible. So Le Male definitely will get you noticed, definitely will get you positive reactions, and it's one of the sexiest fragrances to me personally. Yes. Parfums Vintage, I don't know who said that they are paying people. They are not paying anyone, or at least I don't get paid from them. So I don't understand the hate towards this brand. I get it, some people don't like clones, get over it. I don't know what to say sometimes. I think it's super mature because literally this is fragrance, like it's such a, there's no need for it to be so dramatic. So this fragrance is Emperor Extrait from Parfums Vintage, which I have seen a lot of people making videos on this now after I think I did my videos. So this one is Emperor Extrait, and to me this is the best Creed Aventus dupe that there is on the market. The bergamot in here just elevates it and lifts it up so much more, and it is just such a fantastic fragrance. Now this one to me is a very masculine Aventus clone. Like Aventus itself is a masculine scent, but to me, Emperor Extrait is very, very masculine, and it projects and projects and projects like a beast. I can guarantee you guys right now, like I can almost guarantee that you would get compliments with this fragrance if you wore it. Now I do have to say, this is a warning, like a warning right now, do not overspray these fragrances, especially Emperor Extrait. It is horrible if you overspray this fragrance, and a lot of Parfums Vintage, if you overspray them, you're going to choke everyone around you and put them off, because I don't know what it is, but these fragrances are very intense and very concentrated. So please don't overspray this one. I would say like 3 to 4 sprays max is going to do you really well, and 100%, like 100% you will get noticed with this one in the club. So Emperor Extrait from Parfums Vintage. If you have a problem with it, just buy the original Creed Aventus. I don't really care. The reason that I actually recommend this one over Aventus is because I like this batch. Like I like the way that they've done this scent even a little bit more than Aventus. So that's just how I feel, and if you, I don't even know what to say. I like it. Emperor Extrait, really good fragrance that's going to get you noticed. Okay, obviously no need to talk about this bad boy. Now I was tossing up between including Carlisle as well, but if I could only choose one Parfum de Marly for the club, I know a lot of guys like to wear Pegasus, but to me, I actually am not the biggest fan of Pegasus. I know that's like the first Parfum de Marly that I'm like not the biggest fan of, and that's me being 100% honest with you guys. I don't just love fragrances. There are fragrances that I don't love that much. Pegasus is one that I just don't really love that much. So my recommendation is Layton. Obviously, you guys know by now how I feel about this fragrance. Like I said, I was thinking of including Carlisle because I also think it would be an amazing fragrance, but in the club, I do feel like you want to wear something a little bit fresh because you don't want something too thick and heavy and polarizing. You kind of do want something a little bit fresh, and this definitely has that little touch of freshness, whereas Carlisle is a lot more creamy and sweet and smooth and refined. Like, I feel like that's a bit more elegant of a fragrance, whereas Layton has that sexy, seductive kind of sweetness like Le Male with a little bit of the freshness. Aromatic vanilla, but it still has a freshness to it. Incredible 10 out of 10 fragrance that I want to like marry this fragrance. I love it so much. And then the final fragrance that we have here is Acqua di Gio Profumo by Giorgio Armani. This one will definitely get you noticed, whether that be good or bad. It will get you noticed for sure. This fragrance is so strong and so aggressive and very fresh. It's got patchouli, incense, aquatic notes. It's got that kind of fresh out of the shower gel with a twist. Because of the incense and the patchouli, it has a twist to it. It makes it intense. So that is why I love this fragrance, and I do think that it would work incredibly well in a club situation because it's got the freshness. It's definitely got the freshness there, but it has the intensity even amped up more than the original. So Acqua di Gio Profumo definitely will get you noticed, will get you complimented. Girls will love it. There we go. All right, so that is it, you guys. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that you enjoyed hearing about my recommendations for fragrances that will definitely, like I can say from experience, these fragrances will get you noticed in the club if that's what you're about. I haven't been clubbing in so long. I'm like super not into it anymore. So there we go. These fragrances have no use for me, but these were the best of the best when it comes to a clubbing scenario, in my opinion. So thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.